Guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. How is international break treating you guys? Let me know in the comment section, because it's been international break. We have some games that have been played, not really exciting, and I've not been covering so many of the games. But I'm thinking of a segment which we can introduce on the international break, where we'll get some interesting stories from the past, like what has happened football wise, talk about them, and just have an amazing connection with. You guys can help me in this one, by the way. You can also find some stories you'd want me to discuss about, because of course we're gonna come at a point where we'll be doing this live stream, so you can actually join in into this. But as of to now, before we get into those live streams moments, you guys can do this. You can send those stories in our handles in the Football Connect, either maybe email, anyhow you can reach us, Twitter or even YouTube or even Facebook, however you can reach us. Send us some interesting stories that happened that you're interested in talking about, that are exciting. In today's one that as I'm starting as the first one to see how this one goes, I'm going to read some interesting one that came out, that I've just been finding out and I've been enjoying reading, by the way. I want to hear what yours are, by the way, in the comment section. Like and comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's always important. I want to hear how you enjoyed this football time. So, like I'm saying, the first one that I'm going to talk about, which is an exciting one, I'm going to cover two, I think, that are interesting really to think about it. But I have two that I'm going to read here. The first one is the one that you can see on the title of this one and everything, which is from Kyle Walker. So this is what Kyle Walker had to say. He said, when we played against Paris Saint-Germain, Pep Guardiola told me, if Messi does not score today, you get a reward. I told him, no problem, he won't score. He replied, many have said that before and didn't get the reward. We went to the match, and when Messi scored, the game ended. We were at training now, and I said to Guardiola, what's the reward you were hiding from us? He told me, it's the jersey Messi. It's a Messi's 2012 jersey signed by him. He gave it to me in my last game with Barcelona. I said if I wanted, and I said if I play against you and assign a defender to mark you, you don't score, I'll get it. But I think it stays with me forever now. back back to training. Guardiola really cares. Guardiola really cares about Messi and always remembers him as a motivator for us, or always remembers him as a motivator for us. For him, Messi is the greatest player in history. So this is the interesting thing that is happening. It looks like back in 2012, by the way, if you remember Pep Guardiola's last game for Barcelona, I think it was the game where Messi scored a hat-trick as a final game for Pep Guardiola. He had promised that I was going to do something for Pep Guardiola, scored a hat-trick, and that's how the game came to an end. And it's looking like Pep Guardiola made a bet with Lionel Messi, and he told him, and this is the greatest thing about football, he told him, if in any game I'm going to play against you, I'm going to assign a defender to play against you. And if you score, if you don't score, I will give the defender that shirt. And after reading the story, I was really intrigued by it, and I had to do some research. And I had to find out all the games that Pep Guardiola has played against Messi since that game, the last game that they played. And it was interesting. I actually discovered 90% of the game, it's only one game that Messi did not score against Pep Guardiola, but he assisted in that game. And that was in the second league against Bayern. So it looks like the first time he played against him, it was against Bayern Munich, and Barcelona beat Bayern Munich by 3-0. This was at Camp Nou. Messi scored a 77-minute goal. Then they went to Bayern. The game finished 3-2 to Bayern, and Messi assisted one of the goals which were scored, but it was already them where they were already qualified to the next round, and they went in to beat Juventus and they won the treble with the Emery. I think that was Emery, or was it? I hope I'm not making a mistake. The PSG manager right now. I hope what's his name? Enrique. Yeah, it was with Enrique when they won that treble, if you remember. Then They also played against Pep Guardiola when he was now Manchester City manager, and Barcelona beat Man City 4 goals to 0. And Messi, I think, scored twice in that game. Then the other one, they also beat Man City by 3 goals to 1, and Messi scored once. And then they played against PSG. I'm not really sure who won. Was it PSG or Man City in that game? But one thing that we know, Kyle Walker is actually confirming that Lionel Messi scored in that game. So it means in that bet that he made with Pep Guardiola, yes, there were some humiliating games that he lost against Bayern Munich, if you remember the 8-2 and stuff like that. But the one that Pep Guardiola was a manager of, he made sure that he at least scored a goal to make sure that Pep Guardiola keep the jersey he gave him signed in the last game that he played for Pep Guardiola. That is serious. That is serious, man. And that tells you what kind of a player Messi was. Because every single time when you watch Messi, when you're looking at Messi playing, it always feels like he's setting up for other players. He's helping other players to actually be amazing, to actually perform so well, to actually believe that he had a pact with Pep Guardiola in which he was always going to make sure that there was a goal involvement, to make sure that this guy does not give the signed jersey that he gave him in 2012. That is just out of this world. And I'm really, really impressed by this. So that was one of the stories. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section about the story. What do you think of it? And what is amazing about it? What has impressed you about it? Let me know. I'm really curious to hear in the comment section. I'm going to read another one. And this came from Wesley Schneider. And this is an interesting story. I never heard about this. So he was asked the worst moment in your career. Can you tell me what was your worst moment in your career? That's Wesley Sneijder, by the way, the guy who won the Champions League with the Inter Milan, by the way. He has done so much as a player. We know him. So this is what he had to say. The worst moment in my career was leaving Real Madrid. Oh, okay. So many players leave Real Madrid. What do you mean? He said, I felt insulted when I went to the stadium and found my locker empty and my belongings were set aside. I went to talk to the president, but he did not give me enough time to, and simply told me that I was no longer part of their plans and that they wanted to win the Champions League. That is an insult, man. Before leaving, this is what he was told. Going into a game which he's supposed to play, the Santiago Bernabeu, and when he gets to the Santiago Bernabeu, in his lockup, he sees his work put on the side, like his belonging were outside of the thing. Goes to the president, and the president was telling him that he was not really good enough, and he was no longer part of their plans, and they wanted to win the Champions League. And this is what he said. Before leaving, I said to him, Sir, you should know that wherever I go, I'll play to win. This is what he said to him. 2 days later, Mourinho called me. I think he got my number from Chivu because I didn't know him personally before. He said to me, Wesley, I know your situation. there is difficulties. There's difficult. Come to Inter and we will win everything together. With Mourinho, it was love at first sight. He assigned me. He assured me that I was one of the most important players and that together we would win the Champions League. He probably said that to everyone, but believe me, a year with him feels like 10 years with any other coach. Wow. I did not know this was going to be a Mourinho praise. That's even amazing. How did it end? As you know, I won the Champions League at the Bernabeu. Oh, oh, oh my God. At the Bernabeu, Santiago Bernabeu. Placed the trophy in front of my locker, imagine, and said, I will always keep my promises. It was the best moment of my career. Oh my God. That is amazing to hear, people. That is actually something that can motivate anyone. If you are working on anything in life, this is one of the powerful motivation. He was told, you're no longer part of our careers. We are moving on with you. Then he said, wherever I go, I'll go to win. Goes to Inter and he wants to win everything. Winning it at the Santiago Bernabeu was just poetic. For me, I just feel like it was just poetic. And he made sure that he put it on the locker, which he was chased out of. That is out of this world. And that just tells you what kind of a player he was, what kind of a manager Jose Mourinho was, and maybe the mistake that Real Madrid made. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Those are the stories that I just said for you people. The Kyle Walker story from with Messi, as well as the Wesley with Jose Mourinho at the Santiago Bernabeu. Amazing stuff, isn't it? Let me know in the comment section. I think this will be an amazing segment to do for us. If you are interested, we can continue doing these things. It will just give us some amazing time just remembering all the things that happened in the past while we're on the international break. Let me know if you like it. We might even continue this segment by your comment sections. Thank you very much for watching. I've been your host, Sam. This has been the Football Connect. And guess what? This helped me. It has helped me to stop thinking about what has been happening with Liverpool. Tell me how this has helped you as well. I'm out. Peace.